Hey everybody, I want to talk to you today about articulation. The word articulate means to make clear. Maybe you've heard someone say to be more articulate before, or to articulate your words. And that just means to make sure you're pronouncing everything correctly. Guess what? You already know how to articulate on your instrument, and you didn't even know it. You know this because you know how to speak. So if you can say T and to, then you are on the right track. You know how to articulate. Okay, before I explain it to you, let me show you what articulation sounds like on saxophone. So when I play, you can hear the space kind of between the notes. I'm dividing up the sound. And I'm doing that with the very tip part of my tongue, and I'm touching it to the very tip part of my reed. It's almost to the mouthpiece, so the very tippest tip of my tongue to the tippest tip of my reed. And I'm flicking it off in a motion like this. Okay, your articulation syllable on saxophone is going to be to. So you should think to in your head. And did you hear how I didn't stop my sound at all? So you want to make sure you're doing this without stopping your sound. So listen again now that you kind of know the mechanics. Okay, it's really important to remember that nothing is going to change about your embouchure when you're articulating. In fact, it should all stay exactly the same. So I want you to establish a really good sound before you try and articulate, like this. Once you've reminded yourself about a good embouchure and your best tone, then you can gently add in your tongue, like this. Just experiment with it a little bit. It's okay if you don't sound like me right away, because this is new. Don't worry about it. Let's talk about some common errors that people make when they're articulating in the beginning especially. The first one is using too much tongue. So we want to use just 2 taste buds. I know that's funny to think about, but just 2 taste buds on the very tip of the reed. If I use too much tongue, it sounds something like this. So you could hear a bigger space between my notes, and it just wasn't as clear. Another common thing is to tongue too low on the reed. And I was doing that a little bit just then because I was using too much tongue. So if I'm tonguing kind of down here, you'll hear like this flicking sound. And you'll actually feel the reed stop its vibration with your tongue if you do that. So make sure you're on the very edge. It'll take some practice, but you'll get it. You'll get it. Here's what we want. Okay, a couple more things to think about before you try it on your own. I want you to watch me. I want you to watch my chin and my throat and see if anything's moving when I articulate. And there won't be anything moving, okay? And then second thing I want you to listen for is, does my air stop? Does my tone stop ever? Okay? So I'll turn kind of this way. So everything stayed really still because all I'm moving is the very tip of my tongue. I'm not moving the back of my tongue. If you move the back of your tongue, you'll see it in your throat. So as you're trying this, make sure to watch yourself in a mirror and make sure that you're not moving anything extra at all, okay? And then keep that air steady so you can make your notes touch each other. They should just be divided, separated gently by an articulation, not have big gaps between them. Okay, you can do it.